there are very simple ways we can make the world a better place. Never think that your contribution doesn't matter just because you're only one person in the universe. Each choice we make and how we live our lives and how we treat other people and the planet do matter. So in this video, I'll share 21 simple and very practical ways you can change the world, or you can make the world a better place, based on two central ideas: that true leaders lead by example, or as Gandhi said, be the change you want to see in the world. The second idea is that each action is a vote. As Anna Lappe said, every time you spend money, you're casting a vote for the kind of world you want. If you want, you could make each one of these 21 ideas to change the world a monthly experiment. That's what I'll be doing. Each month I'll focus on one idea and do my best to implement it. Because what I like about experiments is that they push us to take action. We can't just experiment in our heads, we actually have to do it. So here we go, 21 ways to make a positive difference in the world. Just know that if this video ends up being too long, I'm gonna cut it in half and then post the other half next week. So the first thing is to spread positivity. We are bombarded with negativity every day. Think of the news and the violence in movies and TV series. This brings about negative feelings that can lead to destructive actions. Basically, our inputs shape our outputs. The opposite is also true. Positive, uplifting information produces sort of a ripple effect of good vibes. So we can counteract the negativity spread by mass media by sharing uplifting content. It could be an inspiring quote that you share on Facebook, or a funny video that you make and post on TikTok, or a helpful blog post that you write. As an experiment, you could try posting one piece of uplifting content per week. If you already do it, maybe try to do it daily. It could be something you created, or it could be something someone else has created. Of course, there are problems in the world, but instead of just complaining about them, why not make an effort to offer solutions? This piece of advice came from a channeler, Marina Jacobi. The other day, she said to only talk about a problem or something that upsets you if you plan on sharing and discussing possible ways to make the situation better. And that's actually what inspired me to make this video, because I realized how often these days or these months I've been complaining without really sharing any idea to solve the problem or make the situation better. The idea is that just talking about a problem or complaining about it is not going to solve it. Now, what about planting trees in the comfort of your home? Well, you can do that using Ecosia. It's a free search engine that uses their ad revenue for planting trees. Using their search engine is an effortless way to help Mother Earth. As you probably know, producers in developing countries usually get paid a meager salary for products like cacao, coffee, and sugar. The Fair Trade certification makes sure that producers get paid fair prices. Certified fair trade products meet certain conditions: safe working conditions, sustainable livelihoods, and community development funds. So by buying fair trade products, especially things like cacao, bananas, coffee, tea, sugar, you support the lives or a decent livelihood for the people working in the fields. I recommend watching two episodes. One is called Bitter Chocolate, and the other one, I think it's a Sweet Deal or Sweet Deal, in the series Rotten on Netflix. They explain the behind-the-scenes reality of the chocolate and the sugarcane industries. I believe that all living beings deserve to be treated with respect and care. To make the world a better place, I think we must consume ethical animal products. The thing is that factory farming is just cruel. The animals are treated harshly and killed not in a nice way. You can just watch the documentary Food Inc. to get the big picture. So if you do eat dairy or meat, maybe you can try to find a store in your city or near where you live where they sell ethical animal products. Fashion is another industry where workers tend to have poor working conditions and be underpaid. Plus, it's one of the most polluting industries in the world. An excellent documentary that goes into detail about the impact of standard fashion or fast fashion is called The True Cost, and it's available on Netflix. However, it's not necessarily easy to buy clothing ethically, mainly because it's not widely available in stores. You usually have to buy online, which means that you can't try the clothes on first. And it's also a lot more expensive, but that's because workers get paid a decent salary. But even if we don't become perfectly ethical fashion consumers, I think there are things like we can do to at least improve our consumption habits. There's another YouTuber, her name is KRISTEN and she has a few videos where she shares several tips on how we can shop more sustainably and more ethically. I'm gonna link her videos in the description below. When you judge the world, attack the world, or decide it should be anything other than what it is, you perpetuate separation and feed the idea of suffering and sacrifice. So judgment, or at least harsh judgment, is the root cause of violence. Violent thoughts, violent words, and violent actions. We can soften judgment by cultivating compassion, and perhaps the best way to cultivate compassion is the Buddhist practice of loving kindness meditation. I explain exactly how to practice this specific form of meditation in another video, so I'm going to link it in the description below. And with the video, you also get a guided meditation. Cognitive biases are errors in thinking that influence the way you see and think about the world. And they can cause inaccurate interpretation of situations. And they occur because the brain tries to simplify mental processes because it wants to save energy. We all have those biases and they are mostly unconscious. But why does it matter? Well, an essential aspect of changing the world is to change our perception of it. And our perception of the world is largely affected by those biases. I highly recommend learning about cognitive biases. I'm going to put the link to a video that explains them in the description below. Because once you know about those biases, you'll be able to observe them at play in your own mind. And it'll help you get a more accurate perception of the world and also become more open-minded, and you'll also be able to better understand other people's worldviews. And it's very helpful in smoothing out judgment. Even if you buy humanly produced animal products, it's said that 50% of global greenhouse gas emissions are due to livestock animals and their byproducts, compared to 13% for all transportation combined. There's a good documentary, Cowspiracy, also available on Netflix, that goes into the topic in detail. And even if you don't become fully vegan, eating a plant-based or vegetarian diet every other day would still really help to preserve the environment. Another way we can make the world a better place is by intentionally reducing our amount of trash. So the idea is not to necessarily become completely zero waste, but if we can make just one small change per month to reduce our trash, then we'll really reduce our environmental footprint. To learn about sustainable living, I recommend watching Catherine Kellogg's YouTube video. Her channel is, I think it's Going Zero Waste. She also has a blog, and she even has a class on Skillshare in case you have a Skillshare membership. I also made a video myself about 10 simple ways we can reduce our trash, so that could be a good starting point. So I'm going to link the video in the description below. And did you know that you can also contribute to a better world simply by meditating? The Dalai Lama once said, "If every 8-year-old in the world is taught meditation, we will eliminate violence from the world within 1 generation." In the past 40 years, several scientific studies have shown the impact of a group of people meditating together on decreasing violence. While they were meditating, the amount of crime, bombing, terrorist attacks, and war injuries dropped by as much as 23%. These studies show the power of inner peace to bring outer peace. Have you seen the movie Pay It Forward? The story is centered around the idea of repaying good actions, not with payback, but with new good actions done to 3 new people. And this engenders sort of a domino effect of kindness. And in real life, even if we don't request that the person we help pays it forward, it's likely that they will feel compelled or motivated to help someone later. And that's because kindness is contagious. By being kind, whether it's holding the door for the person behind us, or smiling at strangers, or just being polite, we encourage others to be kind too. You could also support fundraising and crowdfunding campaigns through platforms like Global Living. To give you an example, on Global Living, you could pay $60 for a child's school tuition for the whole year in India. You could also lend money to help fund projects rather than donate through organizations like Kiva. On their website, they state that lending as little as $25 can make a significant difference in someone's life. Something else that has become quite popular over the past few years is to ask our friends and family to give to a cause on our birthdays instead of sending gifts. The thing is, we tend to think that only very wealthy people can donate money, but that's not true. Even contributing just a few dollars can help make someone else's lives better. And if you have kids, perhaps one of the best things you can do to change the world is to teach your kids how they can change the world. You can teach them about sustainability, kindness, meditation, simple living, and tell them why these behaviors matter. Children are the future. If they are kind and care about the well-being of other people and the planet, then they'll make the world a more peaceful place without even trying. Thank you for watching, guys. If you like this video, please let me know by giving it a thumbs up. It always helps when you do that. And subscribe if you aren't. And thanks again for watching. I wish you a beautiful day, and I'll see you next week.